What's up, boss? You believe that? Hold on. Do you believe that? Let's go.
What's going on, Bucks Nation? Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm a little late on all this. Good to see y'all in here. I'm just going to start out by eating my crow. Got pizza on there. Got mustache. Said none of these guys are coming here to play with Pat Shurmur. What do you know? All these guys are here to play with Pat Shurmur. Congratulations, Pat Shurmur. Officially becoming the offensive coordinator full time. Not just as an interim. You are going to be the guy calling the plays this year. So congratulations to your employment. I couldn't put commitment party on this, so that's why I put employment party. I'm going to break this down a little bit. Talk a little bit about the other news that we got going on with the staff. A little bit of shakeup. This ain't going to be too long, though. But good to see y'all. On deck, good to see you. Rune, Hickman, why not announce it officially? I'm announcing it officially. It's official from David Talks Clubs. Pat Shurmur, baby. Pat Shurmur. There we go. How's everyone doing tonight? Hey, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter stream, but I want to get on here and talk about it. Pat Shurmur, officially the offensive coordinator of our beloved Colorado Buffaloes. And, you know, I've had this interesting relationship with Pat Shurmur. Y'all know this. I mean, saw my Denver Broncos. Saw him throw the ball with Drew Lock. Saw him throw the ball with Teddy Bridgewater. Saw him come in and, you know, attempt to not get Shurmur hit on every drop back, which just seemed to go way over Sean Lewis's head. And Pat Shurmur did a better job at that. In that category with him coming in here as offensive coordinator. But I think overall there are a lot of good positives that we can get from this. You know, I've spoke on this many different live streams. The first one is competency. Pat Shurmur can make adjustments mid-game and throughout a game. That is something that he showed at the NFL level. Not always the best talent. That's something that he's going to bring here to see you, his ability to make in-game adjustments. This is something, again, that we did not see from previous offensive coordinator making these adjustments. It's going to be huge. The other thing, number 2, trust. There is trust and alignment with Shurmur, our quarterback, Pat Shurmur, our offensive coordinator, and Coach Prime, our head coach. When you got alignment and trust, you know, between those three parties, you know, there's going to be some good mojo. Our version of the Holy Trinity on offense, right? I'm just playing with y'all. When you got trust, when you have alignment with, you know, your offensive philosophy, you're going to be able to all work in that same direction. You saw last year, hey, Sean Lewis, really good, bright, young offensive mind, but there just did not seem to be that trust and alignment there. So because of that, you're never going to reach your potential. And so I really like that. Number 3, this is kind of funny to me, but, you know, I don't see Pat Shurmur doing a ton of in-home visits or anything like that. But, hey, you're a guy that's been playing college football for a little while. You hit the portal. You want to go play in a place that has a pro-style atmosphere, pro-style preparation, and some pro-style concepts within their offense. You're going to be getting that this year. Now, there are some things, before I get to some of the specifics of different things that we can look forward to or look for in this Pat Shurmur offense, I think we will see. I just lost my thought. I'm sorry, guys. But anyways, okay, let's just get to it. Here are the things that we're going to see from his offense. So first thing, this is what I was going to say. Guys want to come play and run that full NFL route tree, you know, those types of things. I think that's going to be very beneficial for a handful of guys that we got. Travis, Jimmy, LeJante, Wester, Will Shepherd, all these guys. They want to run pro-style route trees, pro-style concepts. They're going to get that here. And Shurmur's not going to get killed this year, right? So let's talk about what can we expect in the passing game from a Pat Shurmur offense. You're going to see a lot of 11 personnel. What does that mean? It means we got like 3 wide receivers out there. We got a tight end there and a running back there, okay? Tight end's going to be used a lot in both run blocking and in the pass game. Of course, you'll see these pro-style route trees that use, all the different routes, but you'll see Pat Shurmur utilize a lot of rub routes to get guys open. So, these kind of crossers or different short patterns like that at the beginning of breaks to help create separation for the wide receivers. He's somebody that does employ a lot and use a lot of spacing within his offense. So that's going to be great. Also, the use of play action is really important to Pat Shurmur. Utilizes play action a ton, and we saw that Shurmur was highly effective off of play action. Some of his best games came out of play action heavy games in which they were running that. So incredibly accurate, incredibly productive and efficient off of play action. This is going to be something that's very important. Now, let's get to the run game. I went over this with Bill Carroll a little bit on Thursday. I think we might go a little bit back and forth on this. He seems to think that we'll see a little bit more man concept in the run game. But I think for the most part, we'll still see a lot of this outside zone used a lot of zone blocking concepts. We went over this the other day where, again, each offensive lineman here is going to be responsible for maintaining a certain gap, certain space, and it's going to be the running backs or onto the running back to decide which hole is most advantageous for them to hit. And we're going to see a lot of this. We don't have a lot of the same offensive linemen from last year, but the guys that we are retaining this past year, they all graded out higher in the zone blocking running scheme than they did in the man. We also ran zone more than we did man blocking last year. I would imagine that we're going to continue that trend where 2/3 or 3/4 of the time we're still going to see a lot of zone. That's what I am expecting. But we will see some incorporation of some man concepts in the run game as well. And again, just to bring this up so y'all are familiar with it, that is when the offensive linemen key on a specific man, whether that's a linebacker, edge, defensive lineman, on who they're going to block. And then it's on the running back to read what's going on. So that's going to be very interesting to see how Pat Shurmur utilizes this this line and how we get this offense going. But I don't think that we're going to see a super run-heavy offense under Pat Shurmur. I think any time that we've seen Pat Shurmur run the ball a lot, it was with quarterback with not a lot of arm talent. Case Keenum, he's an Abilene, Texas guy. I love him, but that there's a reason why they were running the ball so much in Minnesota, right? I still think you're going to see, 65 to 70% of the time we're going to be passing the ball, and that is because we have somebody that is a Heisman-worthy candidate behind center, and we're going to get the protection, hopefully, that we need to really keep this offense humming. But I think we'll run the ball enough for it to be effective. I think we can come out, in my games watching the Broncos with Pat Shurmur, we came out and did try to establish that run. Okay. Now, granted, the offensive line was also some of the worst in the NFL at that point as well, in my opinion. So there wasn't much success with it. But I think you will see him utilize the run to open up the pass. But ultimately, this is still going to be an offense where we're passing the ball, baby. We're passing the ball. It's going to be high flying, and hopefully we put up a lot of stats. Now, one thing about Pat Shurmur is that he hasn't dealt in called plays for really that great of quarterbacks in the NFL. Do you want to blame that on him saying, hey, you never developed these guys to be any better? Or just say, like, guys, like these guys suck. These guys suck anyways. What are you going to do with them? There's two sides to the coin, right? But at the end of the day, I mean, he called plays for, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, Nick Foles, Case Keenum, Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock, not Eli Manning for a few games, washed Eli Manning, Daniel Jones, Mark Bolger. Did he call plays for Donovan McNabb? I think that just might be it. I'm probably missing a few quarterbacks. Sam Bradford is probably in there for a little bit. So Shurmur Sanders is by far the most talented quarterback he's had to work with, like at a competition level, standpoint. And it's going to be interesting. Can he adapt his schemes to the college game? Well, it's great that he already has a year under his belt here, a year kind of watching things, a year, or half a season, a little less than half a season of calling plays, granted with somebody else's playbook. The other thing that I think you'll see too is we saw this at the end of the season as well with Hank Zelinkis or Zelinskis. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry, y'all. Being used as that sixth offensive tackle or sixth offensive lineman. I think you'll still see that. So there was something else I was going to say. Oh, also, I don't think we'll see him or see Shurmur operate straight out of the shotgun. I think we'll see him in pistol, which is going to be helpful for the run game. And we'll see Shurmur behind center in some circumstances. But yeah, spacing, rub concepts, drag routes, crossers over the middle. I think you're going to see a lot of, with those deep shots. So what's great is that when you got a quarterback like Shurmur, if he has time, if he has protection, he's going to be able to make all the throws, all the NFL throws to all sides of the field. That's going to be great. So, I'm looking forward to this now. You got David Talk's buffs on board. I think the biggest thing that sells me on this is competency. Competency. I think there is going, is this going to be the best offense in college football statistically? Probably not. But there are scenarios, hey, I think in which we reach that, right? But I think the biggest thing that sells me is that, hey, I don't think Pat Shurmur is ever going to get out schemed. I don't think he's going to be made a fool or anything like that in the game plans that he puts together. It's clear that with his experience, there is a certain level of production and competency that I think that we can expect to get with him here. So this is kind of a controversial hire. I think a lot of us have had all sorts of different opinions on this, but I think the fact that there is trust there between quarterback, head coach, with somebody like Pat Shurmur already, that's a big plus one. A lot of people want to make this stupid argument how like Coach Prime shouldn't be hiring friends. Well, okay, the two people that I hired without really knowing at all was Sean Lewis and Bill O'Boyle. You hire people you hire people you trust. So I'm excited to see it. Hopefully, I'm hoping that we do employ some more pistol sets in this, but I think you'll see a lot of 11 personnel. The use of the tight end, Shimon Monteiro, is going to be a huge part of this. A guy who can block as well as get out there and be a big-time red zone threat. So y'all let me know what you think in the comments. And before I get to that wanted to share some news. I know that some things on the defensive side of the coaching staff still aren't figured out, but I wanted to go ahead and talk about Coach Bartolone moving to tight end, and then Coach Jason Phillips coming in here to coach wide receivers. Coach Jason Phillips, as a player, played for the Detroit Lions and Atlanta Falcons, as a wide receiver, I believe. Yeah. Reading that wrong? Yeah. As a wide receiver, had a cup of coffee in the NFL, for 4 or 5 seasons, 6 seasons. Then went to play in the CFL for the Birmingham Barracudas, where the CFL was expanding into the United States. Anyways, he played there for a year, and then the Hamilton Tiger Cats team in the CFL for a couple years. And then as a coach, he's been at Houston, he's been at the Houston Marshals Spring Football League, then University of Houston, Texas State, Houston again, Baylor, Houston, SMU, Texas, Oregon State, Utah State. Then was at Jackson State with Coach Prime, co-OC in 2021. And then for the last couple of years, back to the CFL, coaching the Hamilton Tiger Cats, where he finished out his career as a pro player. So things that I really like about him: very experienced. He has pro experience as well. And he's been all over Big 12 country with where he has coached. And I think that's really going to serve him well in recruiting. So I think that's great. Now, Brett Bartolone, he doesn't have any experience right now coaching tight ends, but I like the hire. Let's have him work with Shimon Mateer and probably a few of the other tight ends that we bring in, Luis Passarello. And I'm interested to see how he coaches them in blocking as well. Maybe Coach Lodeholt assists with that too. Pat Shurmur does, because I think he has some experience coaching tight ends as well. But that's cool. I don't really have like a big opinion on it, but I'm fine with it. And our offensive staff is finalized. So we got Coach Lodeholt over with the offensive line. We have Brett Bartolone here coaching the tight ends. We have Coach Jason Phillips coaching the wide receivers. And we got Pat Shurmur, running the offense. And I would assumes that QB coach position as well, already working with Shador. So I'm glad that it's finally official. I guess now the fun part of this is that we get to wait to see, hey, who are these defensive coordinator hires going to be, in all of that. So in summary, I don't hate it 2 months later, from the first time it was brought up. So I'll get to a few of your comments, and I'm going to get out of here. Can Shurmur adapt? Man, I sure hope so. We're going to find out. But I think he does have a good track record of adapting. He just always hasn't had the best or greatest or most elite personnel. You could argue that this is the best offense he's ever had. But yeah, can he open up the playbook and get creative? That's going to be key. I think you will see a lot more zone blocking with us. But I do have to look in to see like what our transfers. I should do a video on that. I'm going to push part 2 of my Carter film review. My Carter film review to tomorrow, since I wanted to get on here and do this. But yeah, we just need the DC. Maybe it's Zimmer. I can't wait. But it sounds like it's going to be someone from the NFL. Looks like Sal Sinceri left with Charles Kelly. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Having both Warren Sapp and Sal Sinceri, I wasn't totally sure how that was going to work, but I was moving forward with it, but it makes sense. How long until the Prime to Dallas rumors start? They probably started already. I love the fact that a lot of these guys being brought in have big time experience in the pros, whether it's been playing or coaching or both. I think that's awesome. Eric Moore saying these guys got balance. I love it. And I think we will get more balance. We will get a little bit more creativity, and we will get somebody that can scheme and target weak areas of defenses, because at the NFL level, when you're coordinating offenses, when you're calling plays, when you're putting together those schemes, you can't get that job unless you know how to target specific weak areas on those defenses. That is, imperative that you're doing that at the NFL level. So you're not going to get somebody in here not doing that, or you're going to. I forget what I was saying, guys. I'm so tired. Run the mics up. Yes, I would appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, DB saying in 2017, Minnesota Vikings, first few games before Teddy Bridgewater got hurt, is probably the ceiling for Pat. Yes. And that was a real big bummer because Teddy Bridgewater was looking like an MVP candidate. He was never really the same. Was it Teddy Bridgewater or Sam Bradford? Might have been, actually, might have been Sam Bradford. But yeah, on another note, Teddy Bridgewater was looking like an MVP, man, before he tore up his knee real bad. David, we don't need the new gimmicks. Look at Michigan's offense. They ran NFL offense. Less is more sometimes. Yes. And maybe he'll surprise me by, being a run heavy team. I just don't think, to expect like a 50-50 split or anything like that. I still think you're going to see us air it out. I mean, that's what his history, for the most part, it's about. And it's exciting. But yeah, we'll run the ball. We'll protect. Ooh, Raheem Morris would be an awesome defensive coordinator. I love that idea. Lawrence is saying Sal is still there. I guess we'll wait to see. Green Best Man, hope you're having a great day. Raheem Morris interviewing for the Commander's job. Is he still with the Rams? But that's great that he's still getting interviews. What happened to Sapp? I don't think anything's happened to Sapp, Tony Base. I believe he's still here. Crystal Wise Williams, good to see ya. Man, how about those Cowboys, man? How foolish am I? How foolish am I? Thinking that they're going to win the NFC. Man, what do I know? Mike McCarthy's got to be fired after this game, right? And I would imagine they just promote Dan Quinn. Either way, whoever is taking over that, they're going to be a Jerry Jones yes man. I would love Al Harris. Bring that NFL experience. Granted, that Dallas defense did not look very good today, but I think he's done a good job with their secondary. And I mean, I love that idea. I don't think that he's been a defensive coordinator yet, if I remember correctly. So this would be a new opportunity for him that he hasn't seen before. Yeah, let me just make sure really quick. Yeah. So as a coach, 2012, he was a coaching intern with the Dolphins. Then 2013 through 2018 was an assistant secondary defensive assistant for the Kansas City Chiefs. And then for the last 4 seasons, he's been with the Dallas Cowboys as their defensive backs coach since 2020. So this guy's in the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame, second team All-Pro, multiple-time Pro Bowler. This guy's accomplished big time as an NFL player and is doing great things as a position coach there with Dallas. This would be a new opportunity for him that I think could be really exciting. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and shut this thing down. I wanted to keep this thing pretty short, but I'll be back tomorrow. I think we have a safety commit to talk about, if that's official. And again, I'll get with that Touring Carter Part 2 film review tomorrow as well. So be on the lookout for that. But really appreciate y'all's time, hopping in here late Sunday night. I hope you guys are enjoying the playoff games. And yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I need to look into this myself regarding Coach Sal. So we'll see. But y'all hit that like on the way out. And if you're watching the replay, please let me know in the comments your thought. As always, appreciate you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. And Sco Buffs.